On behalf of Crew SC and the Crew's Communications Department, I also want to thank everyone here in attendance today, especially members of the media that we work so closely with year-round. On this panel, we're joined by Crew SC President Tim Bezbatchenko, forward Gyasi Zardes, Captain Will Trapp, midfielder Federico Higuaín, and head coach Caleb Porter. After brief opening remarks from Tim Bezbatchenko, we'll open it up for questions. A reminder that photo opportunity will be at the end with both panels. We'll then have additional availability in the back, so please do stick around for that. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Tim for a brief welcome on behalf of everyone here on the second panel. Tim?
Thank you, Tim. First off, I want to thank our opening panel. Obviously an exciting day, not just for our organization, but for our ownership group, for the city of Columbus. I think with our new ownership group, it's clear that the community engagement is going to be a key tenet to what we do. I want to thank, obviously, our ownership for that vision. I want to thank Teresa for hosting us here at Eakin Elementary School, and obviously Tony with Columbus City Schools as Parks and Recs. Really appreciate the vision that you have, and we're looking forward to collaborating with you, not just on this mini pitch, but on future mini pitches. The growth of the game is happening in this country, and opportunities for kids to play and improve their skills, especially on the technical side in small spaces, as Dr. Pete Edwards said, is critical to the growth of this game, and not just in the suburbs, but all across cities. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the programming happen on this mini pitch, but on others across the city. Second, I wanted to thank the media. It's really important, obviously, for our coverage of our sport and our club, for people to be involved and to attend sessions when we make announcements such as this today, but also player signings and other key events that'll happen throughout the year. So thank you for coming today. So with that, I'll turn it over to you to ask us questions about the season.
Thank you, Tim. We've got a microphone here in the back, and please look for our Crew Communications Manager, Carlos Mojica. We'll ask you to raise your hand, and then if you would, state your name, affiliation, and to whom your question's addressed. So we'll get started right away. Feel free to raise your hand. Jacob, you want like the first question? Go ahead.
Ben Free, Pro Soccer USA. Will, how does it feel that this season is finally starting with all the questions and things that the team had to go through last year? How does it feel to finally be getting underway and actually playing soccer again?
Yeah, I think it was a roller coaster ride for all of us involved. But the fact that we just get to do our jobs now with an ownership group now that's fully in our corner, fans knowing that the team is going to be here, players knowing the team's going to be here, we couldn't be happier to step on the field on Saturday to play against a good opponent, but to step forward to start the season on the right foot.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Bez, this is for you. How big was, I guess, the community aspect in Toronto for you, and where do you hope this is kind of going from here?
I think it begins again with the vision from ownership, as Dee started with her remarks at the beginning. Ultimately, what we're here to do and is to play soccer, and Caleb talked about it in our first press conference, is to win trophies for this city and to make this city proud on the pitch. The second thing is create unique experiences for our fans, and we're obviously going to do that at Mapfre Stadium on Saturday, and then we're building toward a new stadium, state-of-the-art stadium down on the river downtown, which is going to be great in a few years' time. But the third thing is fan engagement, and it's the spirit of collaboration, which the city has done so well in the past, and is why we're sitting here today after what has happened over the last 18 months. But we're here to collaborate and serve, and part of that mission is to serve the communities. And obviously, like I said, it can help with the growth of the game, but it's a holistic view of the development of individuals. So in our academy, we don't just train soccer players. You're trying to train players to be good citizens, responsible, civically engaged, so that even if they don't make it and become a professional soccer, they make it in life, and that they have a path towards success, whether or not they are playing professional soccer, playing it in college, or they're sitting in the stadium as fans, and they feel like that in some way our club has touched them. And obviously it's our responsibility to do that. So it's a core tenet of what we're going to be doing going forward. We kicked off Black and Gold Week at Ronald McDonald House, and we're just looking forward to collaborating with the community and giving back.
So we'll go to Guillermo in the second round, then Clay in the back.
Guilherme Torres, Massive Report. To Porter, season about to start in 3 days. How much you think the team accomplished over preseason with the tournaments and friendlies you played?
Good question. I think you always want more, right? But we're ready. When I look back on the preseason, there was a lot of progress. Of course, I came into a team that had a lot of continuity, and that was a real positive. We could hit the ground running, and my goal was to build off of the stability and that strong foundation, and the way that they played, which is very similar to the way that I like to play and the philosophy I have and vision I have for the game. There have been a few things that we've added, and the team has been very bought into those things, and they've executed those things very well. Case in point was Cincinnati. First goal we scored was 10 passes, 10 different players, all in the front half. And the pressing when we lost the ball made for a very dominant performance. Obviously, it's one game, and we have 34 real games coming up, starting with New York. So we can't get ahead of ourselves, but this is a good group. They know it. I know it. I'm very humbled to coach them. I like them as not only soccer players, but as men. A lot of character in this group. And it's enjoyable for me to coach this team, and I'm loving every minute of it. So they'll be ready, no doubt, on Saturday. They're looking forward to it, and, the goal is to play in the way that we want to play and hopefully get 3 points.
Clay in the back. Clay. Thank you.
Does that, how significant is that victory? Are you now ready to kind of lay the gauntlet down and talk about this hell is real thing? Do we have a rival downstate that we're ready to dominate?
Well, it was obviously sweet to, even though it was a preseason game, to start the rivalry off right and put a little bit of a marker down going into the season. That we're the top team in the state of Ohio. Of course, we're going to face them a lot of times this year, future years. It's going to be a great rivalry. But of course, we want to play for Columbus, and we want to make the community proud. And I think it's bragging rights in the state of Ohio, which city's the best.
Elaborate on that.
Will, you might explain what the hell is real for everyone in the room?
So, as you drive down 71, there is a banner on the side of the road that says hell is real. So obviously, as you're driving down to Cincinnati from Columbus, you see this poster on the side of the road. So I think it started 2017. We played them in the Open Cup. It was a heated game, of course. Unfortunately, we lost that game. So in and of itself, the proximity between the two cities just ignites fans versus fans. And that is exciting. It's exciting for us as players. It's exciting for the two cities. It's exciting for the supporters. So for us, I think you feel that, even if it is a preseason match. Of course, we won't want to blow it up into anything more, but to step out on Saturday of last week and to perform the way we did was a great stepping stone for us as a group, I think, through this preseason. But obviously, as we move into the season, there'll be more difficult games and those sorts of things. But the games against Cincinnati will certainly be ones that we treasure and look forward to.
Thanks. We'll go to Pat Murphy.
Patrick Murphy from Mass Report. Tim, we haven't talked to you in a while. Just could you update us on your side of things? We've heard about the team and the progress this preseason, but how things have gone since that initial press conference when we last talked to you in a group setting.
Yeah, we've been hard at work on the roster, and started first with Caleb's coaching staff. First few weeks, when ownership took over control, first week of January, it was the week of our combine and draft, which is held annually in Florida. This year was in Orlando. So we spent a week in Florida identifying staff for Caleb, leading into the super draft, where we picked up a forward in the first round, J.J. Williams. And J.J.'s done very well in preseason. Obviously, rookie year is always a year you get acclimated. But he's shown a desire and a commitment to improve and get better, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops throughout the year. So we obviously got the staff in place, and Caleb can talk about them a little bit later. But a lot of the work has been on the business side, because the soccer side, there was a good foundation, as Caleb said, that which is one of the reasons I think we both came, was that the three players that are sitting down the table from me are not just renowned in this country, but internationally, and the opportunity to work with them is something that I looked forward to and look forward to. But on the business side, just given the transitional nature of the club, we have a lot of work to do. And what's been fantastic, though, has been the response from the City of Columbus, the Columbus Partnership led by Alex Fisher, and all of the companies that have risen up and raised their hand and said, we want to be a part of this Save the Crew movement. Obviously, the fans did their part, but now it's incumbent upon us to hire staff, create a vision, reach out to all those people and companies that want to be a part of what we're about, and that'll happen over the next 3 to 6 months. But we all take solace and comfort knowing that we're led by the best coach in MLS, and we have a fantastic leadership group and council that has been formed. And so, I can help give direction, but for the most part, I know we're going to feel a competitive side. And at the end of the day, we talked about it's about winning trophies. This is a playoff team. We know that the last four of the last 5 years. But now let's start filling our cabinets. And starting, to nail down our legacy, as Caleb has said.
Lori in the first row.
Lori Schmidt, Lori Schmidt, 610 WTVN. Caleb, with the focus being on Saturday, getting 3 points, how do you balance gaining momentum from the fact that Saturday will, in addition, be a celebration of Save the Crew, without it becoming a distraction?
It's very important to get off to a good start in any season. And, there's 17 home games. And when you look at, historically speaking, the teams that have been successful, they take care of business in their home games. And that's what we want to do. We want to have the best home record in the league. And we want to take care of business. And of course, we need all of our supporters behind us. They're the beating heart of this club, and we want to create an electric atmosphere. In terms of our play, we need to uphold our end of the bargain. And we need to play an exciting brand, an entertaining brand, an effective brand where fans want to come and watch. And we expect to play in a very dominant way, in an aggressive way, and in a way where we'll score goals and, like I said, decide what happens in the game. But it all starts with, first impressions are everything. So we want to make a good first impression and a strong start to the campaign.
Over to Jacob.
Jacob Myers, Columbus Dispatch. Pipa, for you, just in the preseason at this point, heading into the first game, how far along is this team compared to years past? It seems like there was just a lot of energy in that last match there against Cincinnati.
Hi, everybody. I think all the guys did a great job in preseason, and I believe we are ready to play against a good opponent. In terms of our team, I think we are ready. I think it's a very, very similar team. But as Caleb said, we had a few things that I believe these things are going to help us. So we'll see. We know we are going to play against a good opponent. We respect them. But we also know that they respect us. It's going to be a good game, very nice game to play. So we'll see what happens.
Time for a few more questions before our photo op. We'll go to Dwight in the back.
Hey guys, this is Dwight Burgess, part of the Columbus Crew broadcast team. Gyasi, it's a different start this season. You've come a long way back with the national team. Personally, what do you think your next step is in growth with your role, both individually and collectively within the team?
Hello, everybody. I personally feel like last year was a great year for myself. One of my goals was just to stay healthy, just because I had a couple of injuries in the past. And last year, I was extremely healthy, but the teammates of Columbus Crew, they welcomed me with open arms. So that allowed me to be extremely successful, just coming from a different team. But looking forward as to this year, I think progressing every single week and taking in the knowledge from my coaching staff and my teammates will definitely help me succeed and progress my game to the next level. So I take it day by day, but I'm taking full advantage of every opportunity I get by the coaching staff and also the faith that my teammates have in me. So I think with all those things combined together will help me stay more consistent and hopefully keep progressing as a player.
Questions before we break up? Steve, go ahead.
Steve Zirk. This is for any of the players, really. I mean, do you like that you get to open up against the team that knocked you out of the playoffs last year? And is it kind of a early measuring stick, I guess, to measure your progress? I know it's just one game, but do you like that that's how you get to open the season?
I'll take this one. I think more or less it's just a good opponent to start with, regardless of them knocking us out of the playoffs last year. I think they're always and have been perennial a playoff team. They've won supporter shields. They've done those things. So they have a strong group. And I think for us, like Pipa said, we of course respect them, and it'll be a difficult match. But it's a great step for us to start the season with a benchmark in a lot of ways, and they provide the perfect opportunity for that.
Thanks. Well, we'll go one last final question in the back. Eric?
This question's for Tim. Tim, you grew up in Westerville. What does it mean to you personally to be here today, giving back to the community with this mini pitch?
Well, Will's from Gahanna, so he could have asked him that question as well. It means a lot. I could say that one of the primary reasons was to come back to Columbus because I'm from here and I would love to raise my family in this city with the values that the city holds. But that was only part of it. It was, like I said earlier, the opportunity to work with this coach, with the ownership group, with these players. And so, yes, it's great being from here. I'm not sure I'll move back near my parents or choose another place to move. But it means a lot because the one thing that I've noticed through this Save the Crew movement is how proud not just Ohioans are, but people are about being from Columbus. Everything that we're hearing in our surveys about the new stadium, which we've had many focus groups, is local, local, local. People are very proud to be from here, as they should be. And we're just excited that everything we do with the black and gold is going to be with the threads of Columbus. And we're going to try to make sure that we're true to that. And when we're on the pitch playing, we're going to represent our fans, especially in the supporters section and the Nordecki and the whole Save the Crew movement. So proud to be from here, but now it's time to kind of work together as a family to create new memories and new reasons to make the city proud.
Thanks, Tim. That's going to conclude both panels here at Media Day. We'll have additional media availability, so please be sure to stop by our check-in table, secure your credentials and parking pass. It's been a great Black and Gold week thus far. We look forward to hosting everyone Saturday for opening match, and of course a fantastic 2019 with all of you. At this time, I'd like to invite both panels to the stage for a photo op, and that'll take place here momentarily.